Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Thursday, May 21st. On today's show, we'll head to the Island Cafe for some hot and ready pizza. Then we'll pop over to the Island Salon for some eyelash tips from Robyn Church. And we'll get some more golfing tips from Gary Keating at the Shell Point Golf Club. But first, we want to remind you that tomorrow is a Do You Know Your Neighbor event at the Social Center on the island. This time, the country is Poland. Rich in beauty and culture, Poland gives us much to appreciate, and we'll do just that in this interactive social event to celebrate this country. If you are Polish, have an interest in the culture, or have ever traveled to or lived in Poland, then this is an event for you. It all starts at 2:15 tomorrow at the Social Center. It's not too early to be thinking about getting your tickets for the summer concert series taking place at the Village Church. The series has been very popular over the last few years as it offers the opportunity to enjoy diverse musical entertainment at a great low price. Tickets for each concert are $20 each, or you can save money and secure your seats early by purchasing the entire concert series for $60. To purchase tickets, go to either service desk or call 454-2067. Another event happening at the Village Church is the Singing Through the Summer workshops. All singers are invited to exercise your voice and sharpen your reading skills by attending the summer choral workshops led by Randy Woods, Minister of Worship and Music at the Village Church. 6 summer choral workshops will be held in the choir room at the church beginning June 4th. All singers are encouraged to attend, whether you're a soloist, a community choir singer, or a church choir member. To register or for more information, contact Caitlin Van Scoy at 454-2057. And something else that's happening all summer is the Island Cafe. It's open all summer. And hey, when you have those grandkids over and need a quick idea for dinner, or even for yourself, they have a great option for you that Greg Pindara told us about when I paid him a visit recently.
Hello, Shell Point. We're here with Greg Pindara today at the beautiful Island Cafe, open 7 days a week, 7 to 7, easy to remember, 777. And there's something new here at the Island Cafe that Greg wants to tell you about. What is that, Greg?
Well, we are now having freshly made pizza that is cooked to order right here in the Island Cafe.
Okay, and it's available in a couple sizes. What do we have?
Well, we have a 7-inch personal pan pizza, and that is $8.95. Then we have the 12-inch party pizza, and there's probably enough slices to feed 3-4 people for that pizza, and that's $12.95.
And one of those pizzas, I understand, they come with up to 3 toppings of your choice?
Well, we have a selection of probably 8 or 9 toppings, and you can select 3 of those toppings for the original price, but you can add additional toppings on, 50 cents each for the 7-inch and 75 cents each for the 12-inch.
So with 8 or 10 toppings, you can do the math of all the possible combinations. That's a lot of different kind of pizzas that are available. And I understand, whenever you get the hankering to eat a pizza, I mean, between 7 in the morning and 7 at night, you can have it when?
Anytime.
Anytime the Island Cafe is open, folks, there's pizza available. So no need to call out, no need to even make a DiGiorno in your own oven. You can come right here and have a beautiful pizza. Now, there's a reason that we have pizzas available. If you look over Greg's shoulder here, we see this beautiful pizza oven. Tell me about the story of this pizza oven.
Well, the story of the pizza oven is actually called an impinger oven because of the rotating belt that takes the raw pizza through the oven and brings it out on the other side. Chef Brett went to a food show here about 4 months ago, and he stopped at the Lincoln equipment booth, and they were having a contest to give away 3 of these ovens. Well, Chef Brett won one of the 3 ovens, so he won a piece of equipment that's worth about $5,400. And here he was on Shell Point time, and so it stays here at Shell Point in the Island Cafe.
Well, so there you have it. That's why we have this beautiful pizza oven. Personal pizzas, 7-inch, or party pizzas, 12-inch. The price is right. They're going to taste great. Okay, Greg, this pizza sounds fantastic, but I really am busy here making a TV show. I don't have much time.
Hey, Dan, here's your pizza.
Whoa! In only 6 minutes. Now, folks, if you've got grandkids coming in to visit you, this is what you want to do for dinner right here. I'm telling you. Boy, that's good. You got to come here and get one of these pizzas.
at the Island Salon, Robyn wants you to know that her capable staff is standing by to assist you with hair, skincare, or a pedicure appointment. But even if you haven't had the chance to schedule an appointment, just come right on in and they'll accommodate you as quickly as possible. Also, Robyn has a product she'd like to show you for your eyelashes.
Hi, my name is Robyn, and today we're here at the front desk, which is kind of mission control, especially for the Island Salon. I'm here with Diane, who is our salon office coordinator, and Linda Yao, who is our very talented barber extraordinaire. Linda is here for walk-ins Monday through Wednesday, and she does a fantastic men's cut, great taper. If you really like those clipper cuts, which just make everything lay real blended, as she's sporting one herself. This would be the gal to see and the place to go. All right, Diane is going to be in action now and pick up the phone. Take it away, Diane.
Island Salon, this is Diane. Hi.
Do you have eyelashes that are just becoming shorter and thinner and you just can't really see them anymore? Well, a great way to overcome this is with this great product. It's called Lash Definition, and as you can see, it's white. But what it does is attach little tiny fibers to the end of your eyelashes, and it makes them look thicker and longer. Actually, I use this every day. So after you put this on, then you use your regular mascara over the top once it dries. And then you're sure to have thicker, longer looking lashes. Great way to overcome that. If you'd like any information, just stop in the Island Salon. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Next week, there will be a special behind-the-scenes tour at the Shell Point Golf Course, showcasing all that it has to offer. You'll get to see their maintenance and equipment repair facilities, and their operation technologies, as well as their water conservation efforts, native habitat conservation, and management practices. That doesn't happen until next Tuesday, but for now, we can give you a little video tour. Well, not a tour actually, but more like a tip.
Hi, Gary Keating, golf professional here at Shell Point Golf Club. You just see me hit a bunker shot. I personally like the bunkers. I would sooner be in the bunker than around the rough where it's nice and tight or get that fluffy lie. I personally feel like I've got more control coming out of the bunker. So the shot you see me just hit is basically, watch my legs. My legs don't move. I'm always trying to think about from the hips down, we stay still. Sand wedge. We need to kind of take the sand and wedge the sand between the club face and the ball. I never ever want to hear the club actually make contact. Hip position. My hips are generally a little bit open at the address position. We want to take the club straight back, straight through. We want the sand to lift the golf ball. Once again, legs have to be very, very quiet. If we move, generally hit the ball thin, goes over the green too far. You can see the divot I've taken right here. So what I'm thinking about in this particular bunker shot all the time is the club to go underneath the ball. Now, when I say underneath, I don't need to lift the ball. I just need to hit the ground or the sand, and you'll see the sand will get wedged between the club face and the ball and lift it up. As soon as I said underneath, a lot of people go to the assumption is we're trying to get the club underneath the ball, okay? All we need to do is think, and basically the thing that helps me the most in a bunker is the bottom of a rocking chair. You see the bottom of a rocking chair? Okay, so we need the club to imaginally slide along that bottom of that rocking chair. If we take the club and it comes through and it comes up very abruptly, generally we're going to hit it too heavy. So I like to feel like the bottom part of my golf club, as soon as it goes through the sand, it stays low, and then it reaches its apex and then comes up naturally. Most of the errors in the bunker, when it hits the sand, the club comes up vertically. So when the club comes up vertically, once again, we've got either that thin shot that goes too far, or we take too much of the sand and it comes up short of the green. So once again, I'll make a couple practice swings, and you'll see we talked a little bit about the rocking chair. I want the clip to stay low and long. So I always think about, and as you can see, that club is almost like the base of that rocking chair going back and forward. So that's one of my key thoughts. The second key thought I have is the letter Y. If you notice, the top of my arms is the top of the letter Y, and we'll use the shaft as the tail of the Y. So I'll show you an error in the bunker shots, and you can see the Y is broke down. So as we come through, and you can see the Y is broke away. I think about keeping that letter Y, so we'll show you a good swing and you'll see the letter Y. So you can see the letter Y stays right throughout my entire golf swing in the bunker shot. So letter Y or the rocking chair are both great thoughts. Just think if we could think of both of them at the same time, we'd hit really, really good shots. So once again, I'm gonna hit a shot right here, and I'll do a bad shot, and you'll see I'm gonna break down and the letter Y will go away. So here's a bad shot. Okay, so my letter Y is broke down, okay? Let's do a good shot. Now you notice my legs really didn't move that much, so we can have a couple of errors in the bunker shot and get away with it. If we keep the letter Y, generally what happens, the ball comes out. It doesn't come out as close as we'd like. So I like the letter Y and the rocking chair. If I can get both of them, we'll hit a golf shot and you'll see the difference. Once again, making sure I'm staying still, pulling it back with the right hand, pushing it through with the right hand. And as you can see, not a bad result. I hope this helps you. You can contact us at shellpointgolf.com. Thank you.
And now it's time for all the latest happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the Happenings segment of ShellPoint TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and I'm going to go over the activities that we offer for you here today at ShellPoint. We're going to start bright and early with a Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That'll be at the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock, we have the Men's Golf Association meeting at the ShellPoint Golf Club. We have 8 o'clock pickleball game at the pickleball courts, which is behind the Resident Activity Center. We also have an 8 o'clock round robin doubles tennis game going on at the Woodlands tennis courts. At 8:30, the Paddlers Club meets at the kayak storage facility to take off for their weekly paddle. And at 9 o'clock, we have the Samba game going on at the Woodlands Sable Room. At 9:15, we have shuffleboard at the shuffleboard courts. Current events will be discussed in the game room of the Woodlands at 9:30. Also at 9:30, we have the ladies' match play at the tennis courts. At 9:45, we have Introduction to Beginning Line Dancing that's held in the Health Club on the island. Now from 10 until 12, you can find the photo gallery and studio down in the tunnel open for viewing. Now at 10:15, we have our second line dancing. This is basic line dancing, and that's in the Health Club on the island. Our Suzy Q boat goes to Rum Runners today. That's at 11 o'clock. Our afternoon starts out at 12:45 today with Mahjong being played at the Library Lounge in the Resident Activities Center. At 1:15, the Butterfly Garden Committee will be meeting at the Butterfly Garden on the island. 1:15 is the time that Name That Tune will be going on at the Social Center. Sign up is required. Do head down there. That's a lot of fun. Also at 1:15, we have The Spot, ShellPoint's own theater play readers at the Osprey Room on the island. And we have a Health Connections class at 1:30, Aqua Pilates Stretch. That's at the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. Moving to 2 o'clock, we have the Stamp Ministry in the Stamp Room down in the tunnel doing their work. And the photo gallery and studio will be open again from 2 until 4 for viewing if you're interested. Now at 2:15, the Computer Club will be in the Manatee Room on the island. And we have another Health Connections class at 2:45, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2 in the Health Club. That's currently full. At 4 o'clock, our seamstress will be here for her weekly service. She'll be in the Osprey Room on the island. At 4:30, the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting will be in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. Pinnacle will be in the Library Lounge on the island at 6:30. And the last activity of the day is at 7 o'clock with the Trailblazers Bible Study meeting in the Game Room of the Woodlands. Well, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you back here tomorrow for the weekend edition.
Hi, I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Thursday. At 9:15, Windows 8.1 Coaching and Fundamentals continues in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. And 1 o'clock, Lightroom for Beginners takes place in the photo studio on the island, and sign-up is required.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is spaghetti with meat sauce and garlic bread and vegetables. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $13.95. And the soup of the day is country cabbage. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a Monte Cristo sandwich with a side salad for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials on the Palm Grill are ribeye for $19.95 or snapper for $17.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm going to share some devotional thoughts with you from the Psalms. You know, it's remarkable how transparent the Psalms are when expressing one's innermost feelings. David, the author of about half of the Psalms, was especially transparent. What is remarkable is how poorly we do with such transparency. In general, we in the church put on a happy face, pretend that all is well with my soul, and seldom do we share with anyone that we are miserable inside. It's often a front that we put up. In any congregation are people, my pastoral experience would indicate many people, who are dying on the inside. And yet we are afraid that if we were to share such experiences, our fellow parishioners would think less of us, some of them even concluding that we were not even Christians. You know, there are many reasons why we might experience what some authors have termed spiritual depression. It may be the ordinary burdens of life which seem to have gotten out of hand, decisions to make, finances to manage, that sort of thing. It may be burdens that we carry for the well-being of our families. It may be a health crisis, but it may also be a general sense of the absence of God. That's what we mean by spiritual depression. We don't feel His presence. We wonder if He even cares about me. It's one thing to go through periods of time in which challenges and trials and difficulties crop up. But if we knew God was going through those times with us, they would be more bearable and more encouraging. But if we had those trials and thought God was absent and uncaring, that would certainly be discouraging. And that's the essence of spiritual depression. While we struggle to share those experiences with anyone, it's interesting that David had no such problem. His transparency is alarming, and we find it displayed over and over again in the Psalms. Now, he was a man after God's own heart, and he had no hesitation in expressing his innermost troubles, especially when he was spiritually depressed. Psalm 12 is one of those Psalms which I addressed recently, and in that Psalm, David is complaining that he is alone in his concern for the things of God, that everyone around him uses words which are at least vain and at worst blasphemous. But in Psalm 13, the next Psalm, David takes it even a step farther. At least in Psalm 12, it was him and God. In Psalm 13, it's just him. God is out of the picture. He's AWOL. He's absent as far as David could tell. He feels abandoned by God. And he has felt this way not just for an afternoon or an evening, but for quite some time. Verse 1 says, "How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me?" The expression about hiding his face from David indicates that David has, for quite some time, failed to experience the blessing of God. It's a remarkable Hebrew idiom. For God to hide His face from us means that we have lost His blessing. We remember that wonderful blessing from the book of Numbers in chapter 6, where it says, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace." Well, David wonders where that peace has gone, and his complaint begins to expand. In verse 2, he says, "How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me?" He has had to counsel himself. In other words, to talk to himself, trying to convince himself that all is well when he knows it's not. And so he wonders, how long must he try to talk himself out of his depression? From the time he wakes up in the morning to the time he goes to bed at night, he's overwhelmed by sorrow. This is depression. This is spiritual depression. Perhaps his sorrow is because he is on the run from his enemies. We know there were at least 2 periods in his life, for extended periods of time, when he had no home to which to go and no place to lay his head, because either Saul and his men or Absalom and his men were trying to kill him. Whatever the circumstances, his sorrow is overwhelming. Well, what to do in such circumstances? Well, David does the only thing he can do. He prays. Verse 3, he says, "Consider and answer me, O Lord my God, enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death, and my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my adversaries will rejoice when I am shaken." This was an act of will on David's part. I'm sure he didn't feel like praying, but he prayed. He said, "God, if you're there, consider me, think of me. Help me to see you again. Open my eyes to your presence." His reasoning was so that his enemy, which was also God's enemy as well, would triumph. Now, when we're having those episodes of spiritual depression, we need first to share them with someone we trust, a believer in Jesus who will join us in praying. This person might be a trusted friend or maybe even a pastor or professional counselor. But then we need simply to pray. It may be hard. It may be simply an act of the will when our emotions are far from ready. But we must pray. As it turns out, David's prayer is the fulcrum on which this whole psalm and on which his whole countenance turns. For the result of his prayer is that God does light up his eyes and reminds him that God hasn't left him. And it leaves him with the confidence that he will again have his countenance lifted. He says, "But I have trusted in your loving kindness. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me." I don't know that David experienced these emotions immediately, but I rather think that he did not, but he knew that he would. Once again, he would trust in God's loving kindness, that he would again rejoice in God, that he would again find it in him to sing. In other words, he had hope that he would come out of that spiritual depression. And he could reason that way because he knew that God had dealt well with him in the past. Verse 6 says, "I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me." So when you find yourself in a similar spiritual condition, do what David did. Pour out your heart to someone you trust. And then pray. As an act of your will, pray and find the confidence that you will emerge from this time and that you will rediscover the joy of your salvation in Jesus. I hope you're encouraged by that message from the Psalms, and we hope to see you very soon in the Village Church so that we can be the instrument of encouragement for you in the future. God bless you all.
Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to watch again tomorrow as we kick off our special recognition of Memorial Day weekend. We'll sit down with resident and World War II veteran Fred Rosenstrauch, who has quite an amazing story to tell about the infamous D-Day, where he had firsthand experience. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Thursday, May 21st. On behalf of all of us here at Shell Point TV, we wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.